5 signs your sleep apnea is out of control. 1. You wake up exhausted, no matter how much you sleep. You set aside plenty of time to sleep, 7, 8, sometimes even 9 hours, but when the alarm rings, it's the same story. You feel like you barely slept. Your body is heavy, your mind is cloudy, and all you want to do is hit snooze, hoping for just a little more rest. Sound familiar? This is one of the clearest signals that your sleep apnea is taking a stronger hold over your nights. What's happening is that those pauses in your breathing are repeatedly yanking you out of the deep, restorative stages of sleep. You may not even realize it's happening, but your body does. Instead of drifting into the kind of rest that repairs your muscles, clears your mind, and energizes you for the day, you're trapped in a surface-level, interrupted sleep cycle. The result? You wake up feeling like you barely recharged at all. Brain fog follows you into the morning, making simple tasks feel harder. You find yourself snapping at loved ones or struggling to concentrate at work. That constant feeling of being off becomes your new normal. It doesn't have to be. Start by paying attention. Does your exhaustion seem worse after certain nights? Try using a sleep tracking app or smartwatch to monitor your patterns. You might discover that your body is fighting harder than you thought while you sleep, and that's the first step to taking control. 2. Your partner complains about your snoring or pauses in breathing. Snoring is often brushed off as a harmless annoyance, but when it becomes a nightly disruption, it can signal something much more serious. If your partner nudges you awake complaining that your snoring is loud enough to shake the walls, or worse, they've noticed you stop breathing for a few seconds, this could be a major red flag. These pauses in breathing, called apneas, prevent your body from getting the oxygen it needs during sleep. Your brain senses the lack of airflow and triggers a brief awakening, often with a loud gasp or choking sound. You may not remember it, but your partner sees it. Over time, this pattern not only disturbs your rest, but can put a strain on your relationship. Sleeping separately might seem like a quick fix, but it won't address the underlying issue. Instead, work together. Ask your partner to record your snoring and any breathing pauses for a few nights. Hearing the audio can be eye-opening, and it's valuable evidence for your doctor. Those recordings could fast-track a diagnosis, helping you get the treatment you need. And for your partner, it's a sign that their concerns matter. By involving them, you're not just protecting your health. You're showing that their comfort and peace of mind are priorities. 2. 3. You're waking up gasping for air. You're deep in sleep when, suddenly, you're awake, heart racing, throat tight, desperately trying to catch your breath. It feels like you are drowning in your own bed. Does this sound familiar? Waking up gasping for air is one of the most alarming signs that your sleep apnea is reaching dangerous levels. It happens because your airway is becoming so obstructed that oxygen can't get through. Your brain, sensing the emergency, jolts you awake to breathe again. These episodes can last only a few seconds, but their impact is far greater. Each gasp disrupts your sleep cycle, preventing your body from sinking into the deep stages of rest it needs to recover. Over time, this leads to more than just exhaustion. Your heart works harder, your blood pressure rises, and your risk of serious complications like heart disease increases. Even your mental health can suffer. You might feel more anxious, on edge, or constantly fatigued. Many people don't realize that sleeping position can make these choking episodes worse. Lying on your back allows gravity to pull your tongue and soft tissues toward the back of your throat, making it easier for your airway to collapse. Try sleeping on your side instead. It's a simple shift, but for many, it reduces those gasping wake-ups dramatically, allowing you to breathe easier and rest better. 4. Frequent morning headaches and dry mouth. You open your eyes, and before you even get out of bed, it hits a dull, throbbing headache pressing against your temples. It's not the kind that comes after a stressful day or from skipping coffee. This one greets you first thing in the morning, almost like a punishment for sleeping. Along with it, your mouth feels like sandpaper, your throat scratchy and dry. You reach for water before you can even think about breakfast. These morning struggles might seem unrelated, but they often trace back to one source: your sleep apnea. When your breathing stops repeatedly throughout the night, Oxygen levels in your blood drop. This triggers your blood vessels to expand, which can lead to those pounding headaches. At the same time, the body's natural response is to force air in by any means necessary, often causing you to breathe through your mouth. The result? Dryness, discomfort, and irritation that lingers long after you wake up. If this sounds all too familiar, it's your body sounding alarm. Small adjustments can help. Drinking plenty of water during the day supports hydration, but what happens while you sleep matters just as much. Using a humidifier in your bedroom can add moisture to the air, reducing that dry mouth sensation and making each breath easier while you rest. 5. You're feeling irritable, depressed, or anxious. Lately, everything seems to get under your skin. The smallest inconveniences spark frustration. You snap at loved ones, then feel guilty later. Sometimes, you're not even angry, you just feel off, drained, numb, or maybe you catch yourself worrying about things that never used to bother you, heart racing over problems that once seemed manageable. If this emotional roller coaster feels all too familiar, your sleep apnea could be playing a bigger role than you realize. When your sleep is constantly disrupted, your brain is deprived of the rest it needs to balance emotions and manage stress. Over time, this can wear you down, making anxiety, depression, and irritability part of your daily routine. You may not connect the dots at first. You might blame work, family pressures, or just one of those weeks. But when your mental health feels fragile with no clear reason, poor quality sleep is often the hidden trigger. Sleep apnea keeps your body in a state of stress all night, so it's no wonder you wake up already feeling overwhelmed. Calming your mind before bed can make a difference. Simple practices like deep breathing, gentle stretching, or guided meditation can help ease tension, setting the stage for better sleep. Because when you start sleeping better, your mood often follows. 6. High blood pressure or unexplained weight gain. You've been keeping an eye on your health, but something isn't adding up. Your blood pressure readings are creeping higher, even though you haven't made any major changes to your lifestyle. Or maybe you've noticed the number on the scale climbing, despite eating the same foods and trying to stay active. If this sounds familiar, your sleep apnea could be silently working against you. When your breathing repeatedly stops during the night, your body shifts into survival mode. Stress hormones like cortisol flood your system, causing your heart rate to spike and blood pressure to rise. Over time, these constant nighttime disturbances put extra strain on your cardiovascular system, increasing your risk of heart disease and stroke. But doesn't stop there. Poor quality sleep also interferes with the hormones that control hunger and metabolism. Leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, drops. Meanwhile, ghrelin, the hormone that triggers hunger, rises. This imbalance leaves you craving high-calorie, sugary foods and makes it harder for your body to burn fat. Even with your best efforts, weight loss can feel like an uphill battle. Breaking this cycle starts with prioritizing your sleep. Simple shifts like creating a consistent bedtime, adding gentle exercise to your day, and choosing more whole foods can support your body while you work toward better rest. Living with sleep apnea can feel like you're trapped in a cycle of exhaustion, frustration, and declining health. You might brush it off, telling yourself it's just stress, getting older, or part of life. But those mornings when you wake up feeling drained, the headaches, the mood swings, the unexplained weight gain, they're all signals from your body, warning you that something isn't right. Ignoring these signs doesn't just leave you tired, it can slowly erode your quality of life. Relationships can strain under irritability and fatigue. Work performance can slip as focus and energy fade. And beneath the surface, your heart and blood vessels are working overtime, putting you at greater risk for serious issues like heart disease and stroke. The good news? You don't have to live like this. Sleep apnea is treatable, and the first step is acknowledging that your sleep is worth protecting. Reach out to a healthcare provider, describe your symptoms openly, and ask about a sleep study. It's often easier and more accessible than many people think. Small changes, like adjusting your sleep position, managing your weight, or exploring CPAP therapy, can lead to big improvements. When you start prioritizing your sleep, you're not just investing in better nights. You're choosing a healthier, fuller life every day.
If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, we prepared the next video especially for you. Click here to watch.